If your gameplay doesn't leave a permanent mess behind, the world isn't truly alive. Today we are breaking down the power of the systemic crime scene. These are games where the story is discovered through the physical evidence left behind by your own chaotic decisions. Welcome to OpenSplit, and let's get started. Noita's world is a hyper-reactive lab. Every pixel has physics. The story lives entirely in the permanent scars you leave. A frozen toxic crater is a physical record of your spell combo 5 seconds ago. You're reconstructing your own magical disaster from the evidence. This design introduces true emergency narrative architecture. Most roguelikes use procedural generation simply to randomize layouts for replayability. Noita uses procedural generation as a highly volatile canvas. The physics engine tracks the thermodynamic state of every substance, meaning the terrain is a physical ledger of your tactical intelligence, or your lack of it. When you discharge a chaotic spell array, the cellular automata algorithm processes the immediate fallout. Fire melts snow into water, water mixes with toxic sludge, and electrical charges search for the path of least resistance through the fluid layout. You might accidentally vaporize a structural column, cause a cascade of loose sand or heavy rigid bodies to collapse into a vat of flammable oil. The game engine does not clean up this mess. If you backtrack or loop through the same caverns later in your run, you are forced to navigate the exact chemical fallout of your past hubris. This total preservation of chaos means player agency is directly tied to environmental consequence. Every spell edit is a calculated risk against a world that operates on absolute cause and effect. If you trigger a runaway chain reaction of catalyst elements to create the legendary drought of Midas, or unleash a wave of world-consuming acid, the engine unceremoniously commits that destruction to your active session file. You are left to physically navigate the structural ruins of your own ambition. The environment becomes an organic diary of your mechanical experiments, recording the exact coordinate where your confidence outpaced your mechanical skill. The design forces you into a specific workflow of forensic investigation. When you descend into a new part of the map, you often encounter pockets of frozen steam, pools of blood, or scattered piles of copper powder before you ever see the enemy that caused it. The environment tells you exactly what kind of dynamic entities are roaming nearby, allowing you to deduce their weapon types and elemental weaknesses by examining the structural damage of the landscape. The layout acts as a physical history book where every ruined barrier and evaporated lake tells a coherent tale of localized tactical skirmishes that took place while you were miles away. Okay, before we talk about the Hisi and their story, if you're still watching the video, you actually might be entertained, so please hit that subscribe button, like and share the video, and also check out my own survival roguelike on Steam. The game's actually only $10 and I try to add new updates every week, so if you want to help me out, that's one way to do it. I also want to thank all of those who have already bought the game, thank you so much. I need at least 10 reviews before Steam will give me an official rating, so if you have the time to post one, that would be amazing. Now, let's continue. The Hisi tribes are independent residents of a deep ecosystem you've glitched into. They do not exist to offer narrative context or validate your arrival. They operate within automated subterranean bases, mining resources and manufacturing explosives. You are a volatile contamination crashing through their workplace. The physical layouts of their steel factories, complete with active fuel lines, automated turrets and assembly stations, establish a clear narrative of industrial exploitation clearly predating your existence. You can actually read their history through their machinery, understanding their cultural rebellion against the ancient alchemical order simply by analyzing how they have repurposed ancient mechanical caverns into heavily fortified military zones. Breaking into parallel worlds simply adds more scale to the evidence file. When you breach the infinitely generated rock borders by burning through cursed rock, you enter mirrored realities where the laws of magic distort. The environment tells you that the engine is fully prepared to simulate your chaos across infinite dimensions, transforming a simple dungeon crawl into a terrifying existential case file. These infinite repeating horizons contain no main quest items, only corrupted orbs of knowledge and endless mirrors of the same subterranean world you already know. This structural repetition turns the world map into a vast archaeological record. It shows that the gods of this universe did not build a linear path for a hero, but an indifferent, repeating matrix meant to trap and document the self-destructive loops of overambitious alchemists. You discover ancient emerald tablets scattered across these deep layers, written by past seekers who slowly realized that their pursuit of the great work was entirely futile. The environment maps out a tragedy of systemic entrapment, where the literal shape of the universe is designed to absorb, isolate, and archive your hubris across infinite iterations of the exact same mechanical tragedy. Each run is a unique history written in fire, acid, and your own mistakes. Alright, that's Noita for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now I would be interested in your experiences with this game. Did the world building make sense to you? Please tell me in the comments below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Let's meet again in the next one. Bye.